All right. So we have up here, I'm going to unfreeze this, and I'm actually going to type in here so that Ava can see some of it. If I write on the board. No, she's not. I'm making a video of what we're saying. All right. So when we talk about setting, what do you think? Not what you found. What did you think, Glenn?
I think that the story took place in 2025 AD.
Okay, don't be that specific because that's actually in the text.
In the future, then.
There you go. And because you found that it was when?
I found that it was in 2025 AD because when the quote said, ever since a year ago in 2022.
And what page?
Page 59.
59. See how that goes? So what about mood? What kinds of words are we going to use? What parts of speech? Adjectives. So I think the mood is what? Let's not be too elementary about it, but I mean, we might start out. Natalie? Mellow. So we could do mellow there and lonely here. Okay. So this way we could find those. All right. So where do we find or another word for mellow? What other word could we use for mellow? You used eerie. Okay. So we could use eerie. All right. Dreary. So let's go back to this. So Natalie, what did you think for mellow? What text let you think it was kind of, to me, mellow's kind of calm, laid back.
Describing what he was seeing when he was walking. There wasn't much going on, but it was just him walking by himself.
Do you know what page? Is that where it talks about? Is the first page where it talks about him walking? I thought it got into it after that. I thought the first page was more or less setting up the setting. Page 59. Okay. So let's move on to lonely. Who had lonely? You had lonely too. So what did you think was lonely? He was walking by himself. And what page is he walking alone? Okay, so who had eerie? What'd you get?
Well, I had a quote from page 57, and it said, not unequal to walking in a graveyard.
Can I say another thing?
Yes, you can.
Same page on 57, where it says sudden gray phantoms or sudden gray ghosts. Kind of mysterious, spooky, weird.
Did he say gray phantoms?
Yeah.
If we're using direct quotes, now see, do you see this? I said walking alone. Did I quote that? No, I didn't. But this I did because it's specifically from the text. But I still say, where is he walking alone on page 59? All right. What about dreary? Dark houses on both sides of the street. And what page was that, Lysander? 59. Okay, great. So now let's think. We're going to get back to settings, so we have a couple more. But author's purpose. Based upon the quiz that you took, what was the author's purpose? Sophia? Okay, so to inform about the future. What else? That's really what he did. Okay, so he's informing about the future, the possibility. Let's change that. Possibility. But he's trying to persuade more so the dangers of technology. All right. Where is this persuasion coming through? Where's the text?
Through really kind of ridiculous about reading right
Who is the cop though, Natalie?
antagonist.
No. Is it a person?
Technology.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it a person?
No,
No. What was it?
it's a thing like a
Robot.
force. Robot.
The cop was a robot car. No person. What page? What page is that on?
Well, there's one quote that, because I wrote about this one, and it was like, they were talking, and he goes, the cop goes, and you have a viewing screen in your house to see with, and then he said no, and then in response he was like, no, with a question mark. There was a crackling quiet, that in itself was an accusation.
Okay, so Leonard answers no to having technology and Carr is surprised and arrests him. Right? But what page was that? 59 is 61? Okay. What about the setting? Let's go back to the setting a little bit. Question. Go ahead. Yes, author's purpose is really to persuade about this.
Okay, so I read you know where it says before you leave? I read that part and then the background and how he was stopped. So I put that in there. Is that okay?
You said, okay, so what did you say?
I was like, the author's purpose was to show the readers how something like it was like how he had that happen, therefore like he wanted to write about it. It's like this is basically.
But the whole thing is that his ultimate goal was to try and persuade readers to see that technology is dangerous.
Mhm.
All right, it's dangerous in making people be sloppy, sluggish, stupid, no interaction with each other to the point where no one's even a police officer, that they have robots to do it. And that someone who is doing something that's very natural, taking a walk, enjoying the air, is arrested and put into a regressive, meaning backwards, kind of thinking, like a mental facility. Here he's arrested for being out walking around because he doesn't have technology. Well, then you're not following society's norms. And society's norms are, and how many of us have done that already? I'm guilty of it myself when someone goes, oh no, I don't have a cell phone. And you're like, what? You don't have a cell phone? Again, we think that's kind of regressive because look at the way society is. But what's funny about it is that when was this written? Does anybody have the year or something when this was written?
Was it like 1950 something?
And think about how true all of this is now, you know, when he wrote this. So that's what's really super crazy about it. Okay, so let's go back to setting so we have something else. Setting. Yes.
It's set in like the fall.
Okay, so it's set in fall. How do you know that?
There was a quote on page 57 that said that was the city at 8 o'clock on a misty evening in November.
Okay. Lysander? Okay. $59 you said that was? Okay, good. And you see how I have these small quotes? Because it's not about the big, humongous quote that's in the book. You want your words to be surrounding that quote. All right? So I'm going to pass this out, and we're going to still talk about this before you write. Okay? I'm going to leave this up, too. All right. Oh, you need to get on your computer. Share the document with you.
Right.
You can use the front and the back to write once we're done, and no, there's no lines. I know it's kind of crappy, but I apologize. It is what it is. It's not a big formal writing like the persuasive essay that you did. So we're gonna read the directions together and make sure that you understand what it is you want to be writing. So it says purpose. After reading The Pedestrian by Ray Bradbury, with a focus on setting mood and author's purpose, and a class discussion on those literary devices, those three things are literary devices, okay? Students will write a 1 or 2 paragraph analysis resulting from the reading and discussion. How many paragraphs can you write? 1 or 2. Good. So here's your prompt. How does Bradbury use the setting and mood to convey his purpose in writing The Pedestrian? So let's think about this. What's one thing that's in this prompt that you need to address? Setting. What's another thing you need to address? The mood. And what's the third thing? Okay, yeah, we will get to that in a second. You're right. But what's the third thing in the prompt that you have to address? His purpose. So, you come up with a thesis and that's your first sentence. All right? So you can either reword the prompt to do that, come up with your own thing, but your focus mainly is on his purpose. One purpose, but then you can show setting and mood how it shows that purpose. That's where that textual evidence is going to come in. So if you say he uses he creates a gloomy mood, you show the examples, and you go further then to link that to the purpose. That's why it's 2 paragraphs. Some of you in 1 paragraph can show both setting and mood. Some of you may feel like you need to separate that. Either way, and both ways are fine, okay, to separate that if you want to. That's why it's 1 or 2 paragraphs, depending upon the way that you write it. Make sure your name is at the top of the paper, because I know there is no spot for name. Make sure you put your name at the top of the paper, okay? And you have the rest of the block to write. You can use the notes, the green notes you have in front of you. I'm going to leave these up on the board, okay, if you didn't get something down. We've got some books floating around. Keep it open. If the other partner needs to use something, go right ahead, okay?